àgbẹ̀ ló láyé o láyé fi gún àgbẹ̀ ló láyé o.
Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè.
Farming is not just a job. Farming is a way of life. A desolate land is a land thirsty of farmers. And because we know how important farmers are to every nation, that's why we reintroduce to you the Voice of the Farmers. Voice of the Farmers is a media brand that celebrates, educates, and promotes farmers with constant trainees and guide on how best to be a successful farmer. We also link farmers to the right markets to sell their produce and to the right marketers. Voice of the Farmers is active on Facebook, Instagram, and Thread at Voice of the Farmers. We are also on YouTube at Voice of the Farmers TV. For more inquiry on how to link up with Voice of the Farmers, please call 0907 872 8228 or 0706 662 8752. Voice of the Farmers. We celebrate, educate, and promote farmers.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone listening to us out there. My name is Garuba Fizolumide. I'm reporting live for Voice of the Farmer. I am your host on this program called Meet the Farmers. Yes, today we'll be hosting one of our farmers in the northern part of the country. We need to talk about the climate change. You know, I do say this every time I meet farmers. Probably I have conversation with them that climate change has come and it has come to stay. You know, definitely what we need to do is just let's see how we can adapt to it and how we can mitigate its effect so that it's not going to really affect us negatively. So I remember my humble self once again. My name is Garuba Fizolumide. I am going to be your host on this program today that we'll call Meet the Farmers, where we'll be talking to our farmer, one of our farmers in the northern part of the country. And I want to say a very big thank you. I want to be wishing us Happy New Year. I think this is the first program I'll be doing in the year 2024. I want to wish us a Happy New Year, and I wish us success in this our planting season that we are looking forward to. So once we have our guest in the show in the studio, definitely we are going to bring him on board so that we'll be able to talk and discuss what are the ways. You know, definitely we have different climatic weather condition in different parts of the country. We have the one we have in the western part, the southern part, and also in the northern part of the country as well. So we have different climatic change. But you know, everybody believe the climate change in the northern part is somehow harsh. And you know, for you to be able to do what we call vegetable farming, and you are doing it successfully, and you are getting something from it, that means you have a logic, or let me say you have a trick, or probably maybe you have ways that you're using to go about your own vegetable farming. Yes, today we'll be hosting Mr. Shasali Naibi from Kano State, which is a vegetable farmers. So once he joins us on this show today, we are going to bring him on board. So but before he comes around, let us just go to have a short advert break. Thank you.
Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè.
Farming is not just a job. Farming is a way of life. A desolate land is a land thirsty of farmers. And because we know how important farmers are to every nation, that's why we reintroduce to you the Voice of the Farmers. Voice of the Farmers is a media brand that celebrates, educates, and promotes farmers with constant trainees and guide on how best to be a successful farmer. We also link farmers to the right markets to sell their produce and to the right marketers. Voice of the Farmers is active on Facebook, Instagram, and Thread at Voice of the Farmers. We are also on YouTube at Voice of the Farmers TV. For more inquiry on how to link up with Voice of the Farmers, please call 0907 872 8228 or 0706 662 8752. Voice of the Farmers. We celebrate, educate, and promote farmers.
Yes, welcome back to the show that we call Meet the Farmers, where we discuss with the farmers. So, and I want to say this before we continue. The first 2 or 3 comments that we have on this show today, I have a particular gift. I have a special gift for them. So, if you are watching us live, don't just watch alone. Try and engage on our post on our on this show today. Ask questions. Let's see what we can do together, and let's see how we can collaborate together as well. So, I said the first show the first person that comments on this show will be given a gift. Will be given a gift, or be given a gift. And if our guest is watching us, I think he's on Facebook or the YouTube already. I think you need to use the link I sent to you to join the StreamYard and join us on the show, because you need to be in the studio with us, because we are hosting this show because of you. Don't watch us on YouTube now. Just go back to your link on WhatsApp. Make use of that StreamYard link that I sent to you so that you'll be able to join us on the show now. So now let me continue with the show even while waiting for Mr. Shasali. When you're talking about climate change, I think some of us don't really even understand what climate change is. And it is very important, as an advocate for climate change, because I said it earlier on that climate change has come and it has come to stay. Yes, it has come and it has come to stay. So, when you say climate change simply means it's just two words. You said climate and we say change. What does climate mean? That means it is atmospheric condition of a particular area in a particular time. And when you say change, everybody believes change is a constant thing. Now when you look at the way the sun, or let me say the rain that we have probably lately, or probably let me say even the one that that happened today, it is somehow harsh, and it is it is even sometimes unbearable when you look at the heat that we have nowadays. That shows there is a weather condition, there is a change in the weather condition. And let me just tell us the real fact. Who are the cause and what are the causes of this climate change? Some of these things are caused by us, because talking about how do we even cause the effect on this climate change, talking about the combustion that comes from, let me say, the vehicle that we use. Let's say we're talking about the cutting down of the trees. Let's say the degradation of the soil, as all these things are caused by us. This is not caused by anybody, just by us. I want to use this medium to call on our guest again. We are waiting for you at the back end. If you are watching us on YouTube, you should not be watching us on YouTube now. Just go back to the link I sent to you on WhatsApp and join us on that link, that StreamYard link, and you be able to join us on the show. Now, so I'm still talking about the climate change. Some of these things are caused by us, yes, because and when it has come and it has come to stay done, what we need to do is just how do we mitigate the effects? How do we adapt to it? That is just the basic things that we need to be looking at now. So, and what are the ways and how can we mitigate the effect of climate change? And that is what we'll be looking at today on the show today with Mr. Shasali Naibi from Kano State, which is a vegetable farmer that is doing a very great job when it comes to vegetable and other vegetables. We talk about bell pepper. We talk about tomato. We talk about anything vegetable. That is what Mr. Naibi is definitely doing in Kano State. So once he joins us at the back end, we are going to bring him on board. So let us just go on this short advert break, where we'll be bringing TJ Coconut. When you are talking about coconut, Badagry is the home of coconut. So talking about what we use coconut for and what are the products we get from coconut, I think if you want that, just go straight to TJ Coconut. Let us just go and have an advert with them. Thank you.
E pass wetin you go just break, e comot, e chop, abi you soak garri. Yes o, coconut e pass chop. Coconut na one fruit wey everything for im body plus even the shell e get important use. You sef no know ba? Na why you got to patronize TUJ Coconut products. TUJ Coconut products na 100% from coconut. Talk about coconut oil wey dem dey use treat arthritis, coconut oil for cooking, coconut flour, coconut chips, coconut swallow, coconut oil, cold press and hot press. Plus all the coconut products wey you dey find. Our head office dey number 12 Adebowale Caroline Street off Winner Street, Aradagun, Badagry. We also dey deliver for anywhere for inside Naija abi outside Naija. All you need to do na to call us abi chat us for this number 0806 475 4853 0806 475 4853. Abi make you follow us for all our social media pages at TUJ Coconut. TUJ Coconut products na chiamo for different better coconut products wey you dey find.
Yes, welcome back from that short advert while we are still waiting for our guests to join us from the back end. That is TUJ Coconut. We are talking about everything that you can get from coconut, be it coconut oil, coconut powder. Some of us don't even know we have coconut powder. We have coconut powder, coconut oil, we have coconut shell. We have many things that we can derive from coconut. Just contact TUJ Coconut on that particular number that you see on the screen. So just use that to follow them and to contact them, just to discuss with them and let's do business together. Now we are still waiting for our guest to join us at the back end. But while we are waiting for him to join us, let us just look at what are the ways in which we can mitigate the effect of climate change. I spoke about cutting down the trees. It's baffles me a lot when I see people cutting down trees for just let me say reasons that are not even making sense at all. You're cutting down trees before because you want to build houses, because you want to maybe you want to host an event, probably wedding or even burial ceremony. I think it is not too good enough. Probably what you just need to do is, even if it is a must for you to cut down the tree, I think the best thing you need to do is just at least make sure you plant two back. There was a time I had a conversation with the GM of La Skoda, that is Mr. John Olakuleyin. He was talking to me about why it is important for us to plant trees back. Some of these trees that we see, they accommodate some of these, let me say, diseases or some of these things that are supposed to have affected us in a negative way. But because they don't have mouth to talk, that means you don't really know what these people are doing and these trees are doing for us, the purpose they are serving for us. It is very important. It is even important, and it is something that the government even advise us to do. In your house, you need to have what we call trees that will serve as windbreaker. Sometimes when when you have trees in your wind from affecting your house, and even in your farmland as well, you need to have what we call windbreaker. That is trees, probably palm trees, probably malina trees, or any trees that can just serve as a windbreaker for you. That is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how to mitigate the effect of climate change as well. Some of us, when we are planting, especially vegetable farmers, we plant directly on the soil. We don't do what we call mulching. There are a lot. There are many effects. There are many advantages of what we call mulching. When we come back from this short break, I just want to make sure we have our guest in the house today. So when we come back from this short break, which we are going to be talking about mulching, crop rotation, and some other things on how we can mitigate the effect of climate change. While we are waiting for him, definitely we need to just keep the show going. So thank you very much for joining us. If you are just joining us for this program for the first time, I want to wish us again Happy New Year, and I wish us a success in this new year that we have, that is the year 2024. So let us just go on this short break. Let us hear an endorsement from one of our HOD Agric that we have in the Badagry division here. We have an endorsement from the HOD Agric along that is Otawori. Let us go on this short break. I'll be back.
Hello, good morning. I'm Sonny Tawakalt Abolale, the HOD Agric and Social Service Otawori SCA, Voice of the Farmer. This is a platform for all farmers to be connected with. They are platform where farmers can link to other farmers all over the world. They can bring farmers out and make sure that they go places. This is a platform you need to be with. This Voice of the Farmer. Keep following for more updates. Voice of the Farmer.
Yes, welcome back. That is just a short endorsement from the HOD Agric Otawori LCDA. That is Mrs. Tawakal. She endorsed First Farmer for what we have been doing in the Badagry, Aziz, and also in Lagos State as well. So thank you very much for that, ma. So if you are just joining us, please, we are still waiting for our guest to join us on the show, which I think is finding it difficult to join us on the show, which I think probably is the network from his own end there. So probably we are trying to see how we can bring him on board as well. So thank you very much for commenting. We see Sasso Oti Farmer. That is, I don't know where you are chatting from. And we also see Khadijat Adiola. Thank you for joining us on this show today. So we are waiting for our guest to join us from the back end. So once he comes in, probably we are going to bring him on board as well. So I was talking about mulching before going for that short break. I said some of our farmers don't really understand what mulching is. It is just a way for of covering your plant from the direct access of sun to the root. When the sun has direct access to the root, definitely it's going to have an effect on the root, which is going to affect the growth of the plant. Definitely sometimes when we are still young, I think sometimes when I see something on some people's farm, I was like, why are these people doing this? But when I go into research and try and look into what are the reasons why they do this, and I notice yes, definitely they have a reason for doing this. So talking about mulching, there are some ways where you can improvise, you can make use of some other materials. But the major one we use nowadays, probably when you're talking about greenhouse, you have plastic, you have nylons where you cover the soil, probably just to not the soil is covered, and where you want to plant the let me say the plant, or probably you want to transplant it, is just the only place that you're going to see that we have access to maybe the sunlight. That is what we are talking about mulching. We have different mulching mulching materials as well, which are animals. We have the dried leaf, probably maybe grasses that are dried, so probably you can use them to cover your soil as well. That is what we call mulching, and they serve, let me say, 2 or 3 purposes. They serve, they prevent your plant from direct access to sunlight, because when they have direct access to sunlight, and everything is going to affect them because of the high intensity of the sunlight that we have these days. And also they serve as water retention as well. When you apply water to your soil, to your plants, when you have too much sun, probably high intensity of sunlight on that particular soil, definitely it's going to absorb the water on time. She gets. But when you have a mulching materials around that plant, around that particular plant, definitely it's going to make the water, it's going to absorb the water, and it's going to perform the actual function, or the reason why you are applying the soil, the plant, the water to the plant. Likewise, if you are talking about when the plant, let me say, when the mulching material decays, it is also let me say, a manure, a nutrient to the soil as well. So we are also waiting for our guests to join us at the back end. I think it's finding it difficult. Probably if you are watching us probably on any social media platform, that is our guest. I said you should go back to the link I sent to you on WhatsApp, which is the StreamYard, where when we do the demo broadcast, the one you use to join me on the demo broadcast, just click on that link and you'll be able to join us at the back end here. Well, I'm not seeing you at the back end yet, so I cannot go back to chat to you up on WhatsApp. So please just find that link and at least join us on this platform where we are waiting for you. So I also talk about crop rotation as well, because it is very, very important. It's really amazing and baffles me when I see, I think I have some farmers here in the Badagu division, which what they like planting most is just cassava, or let me say tuber crops that absorb nutrients from the soil. Well, some of them, probably what they do is before they even plant, they don't do what we call soil test. Some of them, I don't think, even not only farmers in Badagu divisions here, I think we have some farmers that probably they have not even done anything called soil test before, which is one of the first things you need to do as a farmer before you start planting on the soil. I think you need to understand and you need to know the nutrient that you have on your soil. You need to know the soil pH. You need to know the moisture content that you have on that particular soil before you start planting on it. So which is very, very important. So as a farmer, you need to do what we call soil test to know the particular plant to plant on that particular soil at the particular time. If you have a lack of nutrients, what are the things you can do to replenish that nutrient on that soil organically? So these are one of the ways that we can mitigate the effect of climate change that is really going on now. I said it earlier on that climate change has come and it has come to stay. What we only need to do is how can we adapt and how can we mitigate the effect of this climate change. So if you are just joining us on this live show, we are talking about how to mitigate the effect of climate change. As a climate change advocate, we are trying to see how can our farmers, I visited the farm, I think sometimes maybe August, around this Badagry West, where I have some farmers there where they plant tomato. They planted tomato there, and it saddened my heart when I think we had an heavy rainfall then, which really affected the farm. And I think the farmer was even nearly, the man busted into cry. Like it was very, very sad, because he couldn't even get out anything from the soil. He couldn't even get anything at all from that plant, from that land. But what the advice I gave the person, I would definitely give it to some of our farmers that is watching us live here today, and let's see, probably we can also adopt that as well. So while we are waiting for our guests, let me just go on this short break, and probably I can talk to the guests at the back end and see what is happening, and let's see what we can do from the back end. Thank you.
Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilé wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ á máa jalè.
Farming is not just a job. Farming is a way of life. A desolate land is a land thirsty of farmers. And because we know how important farmers are to every nation, that's why we reintroduce to you the Voice of the Farmers. Voice of the Farmers is a media brand that celebrates, educates, and promotes farmers with constant trainees and guide on how best to be a successful farmer. We also link farmers to the right markets to sell their produce and to the right marketers. Voice of the Farmers is active on Facebook, Instagram, and Thread at Voice of the Farmers. We are also on YouTube at Voice of the Farmers TV. For more inquiry on how to link up with Voice of the Farmers, please call 0907 872 8228 or 0706 662 8752. Voice of the Farmers. We celebrate, educate, and promote farmers.
Yes, welcome back on the show, which we call Meet the Farmers. If you are just joining us on this live show, my name is Garuba Fizolumide, and I am your host on this show which we call Meet the Farmers. So today we'll be hosting Mr. Shasali Naibi. I think he's finding it difficult to join us from the back end, and I think he's trying to do it again. Probably, the network is not too good at his end there. So, what I'm trying to say, we are talking about what are the ways in which you can mitigate the effect of climate change. And I said I visited the farm sometime, I think around August, around that Badagry West, where we have a farmer that I think flood affected all his farmland. When I got to the farm, I was like, what is this? When we have that heavy rain really affected the man land, and it really affects or let me say nearly all the land. It couldn't even get anything out of that at all, which is somehow very, very painful. But one thing I noticed is that on that particular farmland, you'll not believe there is no one drainage at all. I said it to the man face that you are the cause of this problem. As a farmer, especially vegetable farmers, or let me say crop farmers, it is very, very important for you to have drainage where water, like a passage for the water. There is an adage in Yoruba language. They will say, "Omi o lakpako lese." Water just don't even have mouth, or let me say, doesn't have any channel, anything to direct itself. That okay, I want to pass this place. The water just passes anywhere. Probably let's say anywhere, any particular place that okay, I think I can pass this place. That is where the water will pass. It is very important for us as a farmer. We need to look into this. If you are a farmer and you don't have a drainage on your farm, I think this is the item for you to look into it and see what are the things you can do on how to get drainage on your farm. Because I think the effect of this climate change keep increasing every year. That means nobody knows the amount of rain that is going to fall this year. So, and as a farmer, if you still don't have drainage on your farm, that means what you are even going to experience might be more bad or even sad than what the previous farmer that I was talking about experience. So I think it is very important for us. There are some things that we can cope. There are some dangers. There are some risk that we can, as a farmer ourselves, we can just cope or try to even mitigate or try to even see how we can run away from it. But but due to our nonchalant attitude, probably some of us just fall victim and we couldn't see how we can get out of it. So that is why, as a brand, which is Voice of the Farmer, we are seeing how we can educate our farmers on what can we tell them, how can we educate you on what to do, on how to mitigate the effect of climate change. As a brand, what we do is we say we promote, we celebrate, and we educate farmers. So what we are doing now is we are trying to sensitize our farmers on the effect of climate change. If you are a farmer out there and you still don't believe that is what we call climate change, and believe me, you are still joking. You are still joking. Believe me, you are still joking. That means you are not an updated farmer, because climate change has come and it has come to stay. Now, talking about the climate change as well, how can we mitigate the effect? I want to say this again. Some of our farmers, we see insurance as something that we don't even need to do. Yes, insurance. I'll be saying this, and probably this is where I'll be rounding up the show today, because we don't really have the guests coming on board already. Probably we'll be bringing you on board maybe next time. I want to talk about insurance. Yoruba will call it mad and dofo. When anything happens, there are some risks that you cannot just avoid. It is not. There is no how, because you don't have power over the climatic change. You don't have power over the weather condition of a particular place, and you don't know the amount of rain that can fall in a particular year. That means, but some of our farmers, we need to start learning on how to see how can we also insure our farm. It is very, very important. I think there was a program we did last year where we talk about avian influenza, and we are talking about biosecurity. So we spoke about why it is important for farmers to go into going into what we call insurance scheme, because when this risk comes, and probably when, let me say, anything happen, there should be something that will bring you back into the business. That is one of the things we call sustainability plan. Because as a farmer, you need to be thinking of what can I do that will make me to still continue to be in this business. One of the things you can do as a sustainable plan is insuring your farm. It is very, very important. Don't just say insurance is just meant for vehicle, insurance is just meant for house, it's just meant for offices. No, as a farmer, think of how you can insure your farm. It is very, very important, because we are talking about climate change. Sometimes, even if you mitigate the effect, you do what you need to do. What if the rain or the sun is too much and it spoil everything that you have on your farm? But when you have a scheme that can always bring you back into the business, I think that is a good one, which is going to be a good one, and it is a good one that will bring you back into the business. So, talking about insurance scheme, I want to beg our farmers to let us joke with this insurance scheme. It is very, very important. It is an important aspect which farmers are yet to understand why it is important. When you're talking about big farms, let's talk about Obasanjo farm, talking about IITA, talking about bigger farms, they take insurance scheme as something that is very, very important, because if anything happens, insurance scheme will be there to bring you back into the business, because that is one of their job. Well, one thing is that I want to advise us as well, because when you want to make a claim for insurance scheme, or probably if anything happens and you don't have what we call proper record keeping, believe me not, even if you are paying your dues every month, every year, and you don't have proper record keeping, you may not be able to get any claim for any insurance scheme. Just trust me about that. So, as a farmer, I'm trying to advise us to do what we call record keeping. When anything happens on your farm, probably if you are a poultry farmer, when let's say you have a mortality, try and record, snap pictures. Let's say you are a crop farmer, probably you have maybe pests or diseases invade your farm. Snap pictures, record the day that the event happened. Probably if there's going to be any claim from the insurance scheme, these are pictures, these are the things that are going to tender to them that, okay, this is what happened and this is when these things happen. But when you don't have anything to back up what you said, what happened on your farm, it is going to be unfortunate, because the insurance scheme are going to tell you probably you are forming, or maybe you are trying to cajole them, or coming up with something that is maybe a false information. So I'm trying to appeal to us as a farmer. These are one of the ways, and these are one of the ways that probably we don't even look into, probably we don't even know ways that we can really mitigate the effect of climate change. It is very, very let me say, I'm disappointed that probably it is, I think it is a network from probably Mr. Shasali's end. So sorry for not bringing you on board, because I can't even see you at the back end at all, which is very, very I think it's not too good at all. Probably I think the network from your own end is not too good. So, but I am very sure Mr. Shasali is going to come on the show maybe anytime next week, probably to talk to us about how he has been able to mitigate the effect of climate change. And lastly, before we go on the show, definitely we know, all of us believe and we know we are in the dry season now. We are in the dry season, and I believe planting is all year round. There is no particular moment that you need to plant. It is just that probably our ignorance, or probably we don't really read more, or probably make research more. That is why we think this particular season is for this particular thing. No, if we are doing greenhouse, or probably you are doing soil farming or hydroponics, all year round is when you can make planting possible. So what I'm trying to say is just that now as a farmer, or let me say, especially we are talking about vegetable farmers, it is very important for you to think about irrigation system. Now, having access to water is very, very difficult now. It is, let me say, not only the northern part, everywhere in the whole world, probably having access to the water is very, very important. And when it is very, very difficult now, but what you can do just to solve this problem is what we call irrigation. And we have different type of irrigation. We have the drip irrigation, we have the furrow, we have the overhead, we have many of them. Just look at the particular plant that you have, the particular aspect of agriculture that you have, probably if it is vegetable, if it is tomato, if it is maybe fruit, leaf vegetable, or even the root vegetable. look at the aspect, the kind of irrigation system that suits the vegetable that you are doing, and go for it. Because right now, if you are a vegetable farmer and you are not doing what we call irrigation system, see, you are just joking. That is just the fact. That means you are still playing. Definitely, you don't know what you are doing yet as a farmer. So please, it is very important you do the right thing at the right time. I do say this. When you say education is expensive, kindly try ignorance. As a farmer, what you need to do every time, every moment is you keep learning. You keep learning, you relearn, and you unlearn. I don't want to bore us too much with too much talk today, and I want to believe if you're a farmer and you're watching me live, maybe on the YouTube or probably on the Facebook, definitely you've learned one or two things on how to mitigate the effect of climate change. Just a recap: we spoke about mulching, we spoke about crop rotation, we spoke about spoke about irrigation system, and we spoke about many things, many other ways in which you can mitigate the effect of climate change. So I want to say a very big thank you to Mrs. Khadija Tajola. We saw your comment, and thank you for engaging us. Kindly help us to share and like this post on all our social media platforms. So if you are just joining us or you are watching this video maybe later after this show, my name is Olumide once again. I'm reporting live for Voice of the Farmer. Today we'll look at the effect of climate change and how we can mitigate the effect. Remember, I said we are the cause of this climate change, and climate change is real. It has come and it has come to stay. What we really need to do is let's see how we can adapt and how we can mitigate the effects of this particular climate change we're talking about. So please, as a farmer, let me just leave this word for us. It is just a word of advice. It is very important for you as a farmer to understand the market calendar of a particular place that you have. What sells at a particular time is different from what sells at a particular time. So as a farmer, before you go into any farming activities, make sure you know the market calendar of the environment you have, so that you'll be able to plan towards what you need to plant and what you don't need to plant. When you are planting the wrong thing at the particular time, definitely you are losing already. But you need to understand the market calendar of a particular community you have, what is going in vogue, what people are doing. So that is the particular thing that you need to do. My name is Olumide once again. I want to appreciate every one of us that have joined us on this live show today. We try to bring Mr. Shasali Naibi on this show, but probably the network is not really doing well from his own end there. But I want to believe anytime the network is good and probably we have access to talk to him next time, we're going to bring him on board and at least let him talk about how he has been able to mitigate the effect of climate change at the northern part of the country. My name is Olumide once again. I'm reporting live for Voice of the Farmer. I am your host on this show that will call me the farmers. Till I come your way next time again. As a farmer, please remember you need to learn, relearn, and unlearn. It is very important. You need to learn, relearn, and unlearn, because no knowledge is wasted. And when you say education is expensive, please try ignorance. My name is Olumide once again. Till I come your way next time, I'll be leaving you with this advert from us. Let me say from TUJ Coconut. Anything that deals with coconut, just personality use a coconut. Anything, maybe coconut oil, coconut powder, anything coconut, just personalize TUJ Coconut. My name is Olumide once again. Till I come your way next time, I say bye bye and God bless.
E pass wetin you go just break, e comot, e chop, abi you soak garri. Yes o, coconut e pass chop. Coconut na one fruit wey everything for im body plus even the shell e get important use. You sef no know ba? Na why you gat to patronize TUJ Coconut products. TUJ Coconut products na 100% from coconut. Talk about coconut oil wey dem dey use treat arthritis, coconut oil for cooking, coconut flour, coconut chips, coconut swallow, coconut oil, cold press and hot press, plus all the coconut products wey you dey find. Our head office dey number 12 Adebowale Caroline Street off Winner Street, Aradagun, Badagry. We also dey deliver for anywhere for inside Naija abi outside Naija. All you need to do na to call us abi chat us for this number 0806 475 4853 0806 475 4853. Abi make you follow us for all our social media pages at TUJ Coconuts. TUJ Coconut products na chiamo for different better coconut products wey you dey find.
Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé o, mo máa bá gbẹ̀ lọ o. Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé o, láyé fi gún. Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé o, láyé fi gún.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, ìlú tí ò bá ságbẹ̀ lè bí ọ̀gbàgbà fọwọ́ mẹ́kẹ́ tí máa ń bá wọn múlẹ̀ bí ẹ̀gbẹ́ iṣu. Show me a city